welcome to Kristen Kelly TV. So today I'm going to be doing a story time with you. This is actually like a very recent story time, and it's really scary if you are easily triggered, if you have like PTSD, if you're easily triggered by sexual content or by sexual domination or by pornography, or if you are under 18, or if you just don't want to hear a story time, then this is your opportunity to click away. If not, I hope that you enjoy my story. Okay, so I order from Amazon a lot. I get Amazon Prime a lot. Amazon Prime is amazing, by the way. It's like $100 for a year, and you get unlimited free shipping, 2-day shipping. It's really great. So at this point in my life, I was ordering Amazon Prime a lot. I would probably get like at least a package a day. I would say maybe more packages. And I order everything on Amazon. Like if I'm out of hairspray, if I'm, just everything. I order everything on Amazon. So one day I got an Amazon package, just like any other day. I opened it up and it was a bunch of pornography. But it wasn't just that it was like pornography, it was like 1960s bondage pornography. So it was like women being dominated. It was women, with the balls in their mouth and with their hands tied up. Just like, men like dominating them. So I looked at it and my first thought was, I must have opened someone else's package because I live in a townhouse and there's a few other townhouses in my complex. So I was like, I opened up somebody else's mail. So I opened, just talking about it kind of makes me feel like, oh. So I looked at the package and it was my name, which in itself was like, I was like, did I order this by accident? My first thought was my boyfriend ordered it for some reason, which he's like not into porn, or at least I don't think he is. He's, never demonstrated like anything that he wanted to like do bondage or anything like that. So I was like, well, maybe he's trying to tell me something. I don't know. So I went upstairs to he's an editor, so he works from home, and he was upstairs in his office. So I went up there and I was like, hey, did you order these videos? Or at first I was kind of like, I thought it was funny because at this point I thought it was still like a joke. So I kind of put them out and I was like, okay, I got your package. And he was like, oh, he's like, what is this? Because these are porns from the 60s. These were 1960s DVDs of women being dominated and hurt, and just not my cup of tea. It's not something, I'm a feminist. I really don't. Something like that to me is not an attractive thing. So I kind of at that point was really weirded out by it, but it was still ho funny. And he's like, oh wow, I didn't order those. So I called my mom because I don't know why I thought that maybe, even though my boyfriend and I are on the same Amazon Prime account, I'm not on an Amazon Prime account with anyone else in my family. But I thought for some reason, because I have brothers, maybe my brothers or my dad, or I don't know, anybody with a penis ordered these. So I called my mom, and my mom was like, well, no, nobody would have done that. And also, it's they would have had to know my real last name, because Kelly isn't my last name. Kelly is my stage name. My real last name is kind of hard to pronounce. It's not very pretty. So that's why I don't go by that last name. But the package was sent to that last name. It was my real first and last name. So that in itself was somebody had to know me to, send this to me. So it wasn't just that they had my address. They also knew my real name. So, and not that many people really know my real name because I don't really go by it. So even close friends I've had for 5-6 years, sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that, that's not your actual last name. And I feel because I've gone by Kristen Kelly for so long, I started going by Kristen Kelly when I was very young, when I was in beauty pageants. So it's not most of my mail is addressed to Kristen Kelly. Everything is addressed to Kristen Kelly because that's what I identify as. So in itself, okay, it was my address. So this person, so whoever sent it knew where I lived and they know my name. So I was really kind of nervous at that point because of the content. It was just like really strange. So I called Amazon and I talked to this guy at Amazon, and he was very like, he really didn't care. Like, he was like, oh, well, you didn't pay for them. Like, he went through my account. He's like, oh, well, this, you didn't pay for it. So what, you don't have to worry. And I was like, well, it's really scary. It's a bunch of porn where like women are being tortured. It's torture porn that was sent to my address with my name on it. And he was like, oh, well, you didn't pay for it. You didn't pay for it. And I was like, well, who sent it? So he looks up the videos, like the names that I gave him, and he says, oh, well, this and this, we don't even sell. So he was saying that like there was of, maybe the 5 videos that I got, that 2 of them weren't from Amazon, which in this point is like really terrifying because these were in an Amazon box. And I know what an Amazon box looks like. I know how they're taped. This was like came from Amazon. So I'm like, oh my God, this person is sending me, DVDs that like Amazon doesn't even have. So I was really, really scared at this point. And my mom was like, you need to call the police because, my mom's like, this is a threat. Somebody knows where you live. They're sending you a box claiming it's from Amazon, but it's not from Amazon. And it has like torture DVDs of women being tortured. Like, this is a sign. This is a message. Like, my mom just kept saying this is a message. And my dad was really worried. My dad was like, that's really fucked up if somebody is sending you this, So before I called the police, I called Amazon. Oh, and then I called Amazon again. And there's like 2 more Amazon callings. And when I called Amazon again, I got another guy. And this guy was like, once again, oh, you didn't pay for it, so it's not a big deal. You don't have to worry about it. And I was like, well, I do have to worry about it. This like person has my information and is sending me, fucked up DVDs. Like, I do have to worry about it. My parents want me to call the police and blah, blah, blah. So I give him the names of the DVDs again, and he looks them up and he says, oh, we do carry all of those DVDs. So the first guy said that they didn't carry those DVDs. Now this guy is saying, oh, we do carry those DVDs, but it's like you can't even find those ones on our website because they're so, like just, I guess, erotic. But we do have them. And then I gave him like all the information that was on the box. Like, there was a code number and all this stuff. And it said that it was sent from a fulfillment, like like the places where they like fulfill your orders, a fulfillment thing for Amazon in Las Vegas. So I gave the guy this code, and he says like, no, that was not sent from Amazon. So now I have 2 different people who told me that these packages were not sent from Amazon. The first guy said that they didn't have it. The second guy said they had it. It's like very confusing. So I talked to my parents, like I was also really freaked out to leave my house. I was like, is somebody gonna come and hurt me or kill me? So I called Amazon again, and like, thank God I got a woman, because like woman power, men are so stupid, and men like, to a man, this was such like not a problem. This was so like, oh, you didn't pay for it, it's not that big of a deal, like, go fuck yourself. Whereas this woman I talked to, because I was like kind of hyperventilating, like, it's scary to even talk about. And I was like, look, like somebody sent me DVD, like porn DVDs, and I'm really freaked out by the whole thing. And the lady was like the first one that was like, what happened? And I was like, ma'am, I got sent in an Amazon Prime package these DVDs of these pornos from the 60s, that they don't even make pornos like this anymore because they were so graphic, and like men humiliating women and women being tortured, just like really intense stuff. So she was the first one who kind of was like, okay, like we're gonna figure out what's going on. So I gave her excuse me, I gave her the same exact information I gave the men that I was talking to earlier. I told her what was on the box. I told her the name of the DVDs. I told her everything. So she went over the same thing. She was like, okay, well, you didn't pay for it. It wasn't on your account. And then she had to talk to like 6 different supervisors. Like, I was on the phone with this woman for an hour. And how it works is that if somebody wants to send you something through Amazon Prime, or through Amazon, all they need is your name and your address. They don't need to know, you don't get any information on who sent it to you. You don't find out, like, you know, the name of the person who sent it. You can't find out any of that information. So at this point, you know, she's telling me, she's like, I can't give you the information because it's against our policy. And I was like, look, I understand that, but I'm 2 steps away from calling the police. You know, my mom thinks that this is a message. I'm really concerned. I don't know who sent this. So I talked to this lady's supervisor. I talked to 3 other people. Finally, they were like, we can't help you anymore. This is, you know, the information we have. They told me to call the police. I mean, the lady from Amazon was like, you need to call the police because this is very serious. So I ended up going online and I like looked through all the stuff, and I guess this has happened way more than you would think, that people have gotten very weird gifts through Amazon. Like this one guy moved into a new home and then like someone sent him a knife, and then like he had gotten some weird flour. It's just a bunch of weird things have been sent to this guy's house. But he did the same thing, you know, he tried to find out like who sent him this knife and couldn't find out any information. So I called the police and I filed a police report, and the police officers were like super nice. They helped me like quite a bit. They had a detective who found out who sent it. They found out the name of everything. They found out like exactly like what I needed to know, that Amazon like couldn't help me. So if this has happened to you, you should definitely call the police, and the police will be able to help you like find out who is, you know, sending you this kind of thing. And the person who had done it to me, I had actually met one time, and it was just like really creepy. But that person works in some kind of industry, I guess, where they can like find out. This person works for the government, so this person can find out your, you know, like where you live and all of that stuff, which was like really scary. But I had to get a restraining order, and I had to there was just like a lot of shit that came with it. But to this day, you know, it's just really scary. It's just like there are so many freaky people out there, and you just have to be careful. And even though I'm so careful, even though like I don't tell people my real last name, even though I'm like super secretive of like where I live, you know, I don't even like to, I don't know, I don't have a GPS on anything, you know, any of my social media stuff. As careful as I am, I still had this situation happen. So you really do need to be careful. Additionally, just be really cautious. And also, if something like that happens where you call Amazon or you call any big company and they don't have the right answers, keep calling and talk to different people. Because I mean, that first person I talked to was like, oh, we don't even have these DVDs. It didn't come from us. The second person was like, oh, we do have these DVDs, but that's not that. But they were like, oh, that fulfillment center isn't real. Like they were trying to say that, you know, there's just so much stuff. The only person who really listened to me was that third person who was a woman, which like, thank God, women power. But yeah, it was really scary. So please leave me some thumbs up if you like the story. If anything like this has happened to you, please leave me some comments, because it was just so scary and like so traumatic. And it was just like, I don't know, there's just a lot of really bad people out there, and you have to be safe and take care of yourself. Okay, so bye guys. I love you. Talk to you later.